So I just wanted to do a video about victim blaming and why some people do this. There are different reasons why people do it, but I'm going to focus on one specific area. So I'm going to use an example of something that I read online and I saw all the comments underneath. So what had happened was a young woman was walking through a park late at night and she was assaulted. I don't know if she'd been to a bar beforehand, was chatting to a few people there, decided to walk home through the park, and she was assaulted by somebody. So there's so many comments, and a lot of them from women. So sometimes we'll think men do all this victim blaming, but of course women do this. All people can do this for different reasons. But the comments and questions were things like, why was she walking home so late? Why was she walking by herself? Why did she choose to go through a park? Was she drunk? Had she had a drink or taken anything? Was she speaking to anyone in the bar beforehand? Was there any way that she kind of invited this by chatting to people in the bar and then walking through the park? Now, what happens here is when these people put the responsibility on the victim, they are saying effectively that that victim had an element of control in the situation. And if that victim has control in the situation, that means I also have control in this situation. So I can ensure that that doesn't ever happen to me by making sure I don't walk through the park late at night or in the dark, or after I've spoken to some people in a bar, or after I've had a drink, or when I'm wearing a dress or whatever. And we can fit that criteria around, these are all the events that happened leading up to the assault. So I just make sure that I don't do that. Therefore, I am safe. So it is a way of kind of self-protecting. It's going into self-protection of, I can just do differently to what she did to avoid that happening. Now, we know that that isn't the case because assaults can happen at 10 o'clock in the morning, broad daylight, in a park where people are passing through all the time. We don't have control over that. And that is what is the scary thing. So people go to that place that then is looking like victim blaming, and it is trying to protect ourselves. And I'm not saying it is ever okay, because it's never someone's fault, ever, when something like that happens, ever. But that is the mentality that some people go to, that how can I control this and make sure this doesn't happen to me by avoiding anything what that person did. And it's our way of our nervous system trying to look at, how can I keep you safe? Okay, let's look at all the details of what happened so I can avoid this going forward. These things are actually unavoidable. But that is what comes up for me when I look at victim blaming in some situations, in that specific situation. That's what I could see in the comments. But if anyone else has got ideas on this or whatever, then put it in the comments. But there are obviously many other situations where people blame victims for different things, but sometimes that is a narrative that we have that comes alongside it when we're thinking about somebody's experience.